Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the CRWS Candyman decoding slash counter racist attempted counter racist review on the 2021 Candyman film by Jordan Peele and the white people who allowed him to produce this and contribute to this film. I don't know. Maybe I should just say that I think victims of racism classified as Black should not be watching films if they don't understand racism and white supremacy, because this film is painful, it's grotesque, it's gross, and it's full of a lot of incorrect imagery, as you should be able to see from this scene here. Yeah, I don't know if it's supposed to represent what Black artists have in their house or something like that, but yeah, this is in the beginning of the film, and we already are presented with this sort of just overt racist imagery with the blackface. He tries to say something.
Hi everyone, this is Ash. Yeah, overall, I would say that this is a movie that was obviously made by people who are very confused. I would say I mean, we're gonna show a lot of clips where there's a lot of instances of just a lot of racist imagery, also a lot of confused imagery. So
yeah, this is image right here. Actually, I think this is very a very telling piece of imagery with the you are obviously in the wrong place, and that could be a subtle message to people classified as Black, to your situation is not correct. And also look at the white man in between them. It should be a white woman as well, because racist man and racist woman who can only be white people, dominate this planet and have us in a system of complete madness, of incorrectness. I'll go ahead.
You know what's interesting about that scene too? This is like the only direct scene where two Black females are like, this Black female on the right is mistreating the Black female on the left. And I feel like this movie is, how the new trend is to be very like pro Black female. And it feels like they literally have to tell you that white people are in control of this situation, and that, you know what I mean? Like, that's why they have the white person in the background. But meanwhile, like anytime there's a scene where there's a Black male mistreating another Black person, there's no like white person, there to indicate that, hey, these are the people who are in control of it. It's like these Black females are not in control of the fact that they're like, one is like they're mistreating each other, but the Black males somehow are. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's really interesting.
Yeah, that's very wow, it's an excellent find. Yeah, I was just really just grossed out through the whole film. There's like a bunch of imagery where you have to see like this Black male victim of racism. He just has to, like, you see him like get a wound that any correct logical person would go to the hospital, get the wound checked out. But no, they have the whole film is full of victims of racism characters who are just presented to be very silly, confused, very stupid, and not problem solvers at all. But anyways, we have to, and the filmmakers, they obviously do not want to produce a system of justice or end the visual mistreatment of Black people in general, because the Black male and Black female, they do not work together to solve problems. Actually, at the end, she ends up killing her former partner, stabbing him to death.
Oh, that's how he died.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, she also killed the Black male who summoned Candyman, the new Candyman version.
No, that's how she killed the black male that summoned the Candyman by stabbing him to death.
Yeah, she stabbed one in the eye and then she stabbed the other one to death. Yeah.
I did not. Wow. That's
Yeah.
very unsurprising. I mean, it's so astonishing because they start the movie off with like this ideal relationship that they have, and they like
Yeah.
live together in this really nice place, and their work is like somewhat related because she curates, I think, an art gallery and he's an artist. But even though they seem to have this really like beautiful relationship, the moment he has any sort of injury or anything happening, he's not talking to her about any of this. This is somebody you live with. You have a wound, a sore in your hand that's
Yeah.
like festering and getting worse. There's never a scene where she comments on it. There's an Asian person that comments on it, and then the mom comments on it. But there's never, even when the Asian person comments on his arm,
Yeah.
she just like looks away disgusted. I'm like, that's your partner. You know, why are you not making sure that he has some sort of support or
yeah.
go to the hospital with him?
Yeah, he obviously needs help. Throughout the whole film, this black male needs help because he's a victim of racism and white supremacy. But he does not get it. And yeah, you're so correct. When he's able to, when they're very when she's very comfortable in the system of white supremacy with her trinkets and her like her comfort level, you know, she's so-called happy, but and pleased. But the moment the black male can no longer help her to maintain her comfort in the system, she definitely like begins to resent him and only offers him help when it's like very very seems unsalvageable. I mean, he's like off the rails already. And then so it starts off with an unpleasant arrangement, and then it goes to this, you know, to her stabbing the black male to death. And then at the end, she is still yeah, she's like, you know, she's saved by I don't know if she was saved by white people because they all die eventually, but she's still captured in the system, you know, because the black male and black female can't work together to solve to counter the system in a constructive way, because the way they go about it is
no,
it's very GQ, but you know,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I mean, what they're trying to say is that like these black males that are being killed by white people, they should die, right? They should just die, and then the black females should summon them to kill the white males. You know what I mean? Because like that's what she did. She didn't support him throughout, and then he dies, and then once he dies, she uses him. And she gets him to kill these people because she's in a tough position. She's in a bind.
Yeah,
it's very interesting, you know.
Yeah.
It's just like Black Lives Matter, right? All these black females using the deaths of black males to make all this money and to like thrive. It's very interesting.
Damn.
Right. Yeah, that's their VGQ, obviously. It's still white people who are running the show.
Yeah, for sure. I just when I was watching this film, I just had the so first of all, the title of this movie is Candyman, and I decoded that to mean like sweet man or tasty man, you know, delectable Negro, you know, just echoing to the reality that racist men and racist women have a history of consuming non-white people, especially black people. And then throughout the film, he's very like creature-fied. He's becoming like, you know, this honey male creature. Like he has like this I guess it's a burn marks or something. I don't know. He gets bit by a bee, and then he becomes Candyman. I don't know if it's so. It must have been some sort of ritual or something that the black male you see on the left of the screen had performed to, I don't know, get the bee to go bite him or something. It just doesn't make a lot of logical sense. But yeah,
there's no logic.
Yeah, this is an insane film because we're in the insane system and we're quite insane. So it makes sense of that it's just a film. But he's creature-fied throughout the whole movie. You know, he just looks, you know, they really he looks, you know,
he's not in control of himself.
Yeah, people,
at all. Literally, the last scene he's in control of himself is when he's talking to that white female critic. The moment she bashes his art and calls him like a gentrifier. He just, after that scene is when he lost control of himself. Like he literally, remember, he gets drunk and he starts yelling at everyone in the art show, and then he just runs away, and then he starts to act like he's not in control of his whole body.
He becomes like, like definitely presented to be like a very crazed victim.
He has the big eyes.
You literally, there's a scene where like it's just focus. I didn't screenshot it, but there's a scene where he just like his eyes just focus on his eyes and they're like really bugged out. And it's just like, wow, they're really hitting all the racist notes. Like it just it's bad. It's bad. So he's like creature-fied throughout the whole movie. He looks like we have to watch him take a razor blade out of his hand. We have to watch him hit one of his fingernails off. And just like we have to watch this black male go through a lot of suffering, physical such suffering, mental suffering, and it's just like wow, like, black male was sounded to a very very high degree. And he also is wearing red for the most of the film in the beginning at least. And I'm like, does that red signal like he's a target? That's what came to my mind, that he's wearing red because the target is on a black male. You got to keep the black male at the bottom of the system of white supremacy, and definitely keep them in conflict with the black female, which is what definitely happened in this movie with
because that's what has to happen. Like he's suffering and she just runs. And she runs to who? Her brother, who's in a tragic arrangement. With some other with a white dude.
With like the greatest insult of tragic arrangements. I'm sure I screenshotted it.
No, I think it was the beginning.
I think and then look at the just the imagery on the screen. This is this is an incorrect. The greatest insult going on here with the white man with the blue and the black male, highly victimized black male with the pink pants. And they're in a incorrect arrangement to the highest of the degrees. And once the main black male character Anthony, once he ruins the comfort of his victim mate, they turn him on him immediately.
They turn him immediately.
The black male character, the black anti-sexual counter-sexual male character, he says that he implies that he's gonna get his so-called homosexual boyfriend to beat up the main character. To beat him up. And it's just he just,
mind you, this is a person who's like obviously in a mental state that needs support and help. And then the odd thing too is she has a father who the same thing happened. So you have the signs right there of somebody who's losing their mind and you're not even supporting him.
It's just like how the system maybe teaches the black female and the black male to just withhold information from each other, because the victim mate on the black female with the yellow dress, she has a history of trauma involving, in the history of being victimized by the system, of her black male father committing suicide
in front of her.
In front of her. So she's seen these sort of incorrect mental signs that people can display when they need help.
Her father was also a painter who was losing his mind working on pieces of art. So it's like the signs were right in front of her. The main character is a painter in this film, and I just look at the text on the screen. I didn't mean to capture it. Wow. That's wow. That says everything right there. That says everything. And mind you, like this shot, it starts with this. Like they go from a different shot. It's not like he moves into this position. It's like they literally cut to this scene where he's in this position. So it's very telling. Wow. That's a really good find.
And it's like, do you have to show does a black female have to show their ass to get some comfort in the system? Is that what this is implying, insinuating? Perhaps. What else was there? Oh yeah, there's a whole like the after credits. I think there's it's really racist child involved. The system is maintained by racist man, racist woman, and racist child. And look, we have it right now, blaming a black male. The black male child looks like it's I'm gonna say black male child because I think it's referencing George Stinney, the black male who was electrocuted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's very yeah, very, very telling, that it takes a race family to maintain a system, to maintain a business.
I just don't feel like Jewish people are making horror movies and putting like scenes from the Holocaust in them. Like to me,
Yeah,
it just seems like really interesting that Black people like these same or like
it's like cartoons of like,
yeah, something
yeah.
about it is just so odd. And it's like this is the only way that they'll allow Black people to understand any part of their history is like through these like scary type movies. So then it becomes more of an urban legend than actually something that happened to real people that people should research and understand, you know?
Yep. Yeah. And urban legend. That's in the the race code word guy. Um, and like look, there's always a spectacle. There's always a group of white people watching the black male be killed. This is a James Byrd lynching, black male execution. Evidence that we're definitely in a system of race and white supremacy because it's just racist to a very high degree because I feel like I'm watching like just racist cartoons again where it's just black death, black people, you know even if it because most black people who are watching it, they're probably just going to be reminded of the very many terrorist attacks committed against black people by white people. But they're not gonna understand just how the system is maintained, and this not gonna motivate them to counter the system. They may feel sad about it and may make them feel uncomfortable. But as for motivating them to end these kind of things forever, it probably won't do that, which is why I would not recommend this film at all. 0 out of 10.
Yeah, 0 out of 10. And you know what's so interesting is there's not even a white villain. There's not even a villain throughout this whole thing, right? It's so odd. It's like it's not until the end where the police come and the person tells the reasoning why he's reunite he's no he's like remaking all of these Candymen so that they can kill the police after the police kill like black people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, but throughout the movie, you're just watching this black male descend into madness. There's no white person who's really at fault for any of this. Like they don't have a white, right?
Yeah.
If anything, that black male is the bad guy at the end.
Yeah, that's definitely
the one who has that plan.
Oh yeah. That's definitely how I saw it before I started to decode it. I definitely saw like this black male as the main problem.
Him.
Yeah, the one on the left. Because he definitely he and most of the audience are gonna see that to be like he's the villain because he summoned this evil monster killing white people, and he also was chasing around a black female trying to harm her for some reason.
It's the same thing they do in Black Panther. It's like the black male who is more, I guess, quote unquote radical or has more ideas of, hey, like let's actually have some sort of, I guess, more revenge motivated is like the villain of the story.
Yeah.
Versus like any white person. Yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah, it's always masters of diluting and evading who is to blame for like all this incorrect things happening on planet Earth, and it's definitely the white supremacists who dominate the entire globe, and they make sure black people are suffering and really, really confused.
Yeah, and
they do an amazing job, and they have a whole bunch of racist images going on. Like the main, like they present the old Candyman as a very, very silly individual. He's hiding in a hall. He's hiding in a wall, and he comes out to give a black male child some candy, some poison, and then I guess he gets found. And is he the series? Am I wrong or what?
They don't explain it because initially, like, he's not the Candyman from the Candyman movie, the original one. he's a different iteration, because in this movie there's a whole universe of Candyman, like Spider-Verse, I guess, or something. So like he's another Candyman, and he used to give people candy in the, I guess, in Cabrini Green. And I guess some little white girl found a razor in her Halloween candy, which I guess people blamed him. I don't even know why a white girl would be getting candy from someone in Cabrini Green during that time, but like, yeah, I guess you have to just ignore the logic. And while the police are looking for him, he's hiding in a hole in the wall. That's very obviously a hole in the wall. And the police know he's in Cabrini Green. So it's like, how would they have never noticed this huge hole in the wall? But yeah, for some reason he decides to come out of this hole just to give a child candy. It's so silly. Like he has not codified at all. It's just no, just why? Like it doesn't explain why at all.
Yeah, it was really ridiculous, and just the racist imagery is really stellar, because it's like you really just get to just see a black male just come out of a hole in the wall and give a black male candy while he's while he's on the run from race soldiers. Really,
yeah, living like a rat, literally living through the walls.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, there's a lot there. Yeah, definitely treated as such in the system.
Yeah.
The race soldiers, they're gonna find you if they want to find you.
But the part that's confusing about it is because when they figured out that it was a white person who had been giving the candy, or who had been putting razors in the candies. So
well, I don't know if I remember them
saying that.
Okay.
But then later on they say that there's a scene with candy and a razor blade.
Yeah, I thought
movie is so incoherent.
Yeah, I thought maybe because they sliced up the a version of the Candyman, because apparently there's more than one Candyman, and so maybe that's why. I don't know. I really don't know. This movie is Area 3 is designed to cause confusion.
It's really
we're confused right now. So case in point, it's doing its job. This movie is gross, very grotesque, very gross. 0 out of 10. I would not recommend when watching it, unless you're trying to see just how much how much the system is doing to produce situations where the black male and black female would not want to work together, because this film does not inspire me to want to go help a black female, and even though we all need help, and it definitely is not going to motivate one to go help the black male, because it's presented like so pitifully and just so like incorrect. It's just a example of the degradation going on against black people.
Yeah, and then it's almost like people who made the movie, like they didn't want to make him an actual villain, because like the original Candyman, he really is a villain. Like he's killing black people, and he's doing it because he's so in love, and like he so wants to be white in his mind. And it's actually like kind of interesting, because that is how a lot of black people are. And then in this one, there's no, like, I don't know.
Yeah. And I think like the one of the first people to die in the film besides Candyman was Clive, was like one of the curator show names. His name was Clive. And, and he was the first one to die. That could have been them like telling the audience that we're doing away. We're killing off Clive Barker's original virgins. Yeah, and we're just doing our own thing. That's how I view that as but yeah, he's not really white supremacy is mentioned. That is very interesting. They do say the term white supremacy. They don't say the system of race and white supremacy, the global system of race and white supremacy, but they do say white supremacy, and the white person responds, "Oh yeah, you mean white people?"
Yeah,
he basically said
yeah,
he said white people when a black male character mentions white supremacy. I'm like, wow, could that just be a really simple way of describing that? But no, he I think that was just still a little bit of a confusion throughout, because white people do maintain the system of white supremacy, but how they do he didn't explain how they did it, why they're doing it, and why won't they stop doing it. So nor did he try to help the black male to help him end the system. So yeah, it really missed the mark there and
If
being
anything,
constructive.
he mistreated him when he was talking about his art
Oh
at the
yeah,
art show.
yeah,
So
yeah. So I think yeah, that
this scene was really interesting too. This is a scene where these, I think it's like four white females, and they're in a mirror saying Candyman. And there's a black female that comes into the stall,
yeah,
and she's like really upset because she's been, I don't know what happened to her. They were making fun of her. She
yeah.
was drunk at a party. That's what they were saying.
Oh yeah, they were mistreating her.
Yeah. And then she like hears and experience, or not, I mean, she
Yeah, yeah,
hears
she's
and
definitely like
witnesses
traumatized.
like
Yeah,
all of them being killed by Candyman
yeah,
while she's like in that stall, right?
yeah,
Yeah, that part was really, really interesting.
yeah. So the black male character, he's definitely presented to be. I'm talking about the main character. He definitely presented to be the main problem in this film because he is the reason that people start like saying Candyman again because he
Yeah.
like made art about him and like had him. So yeah, and then this scene there's a group of a group of women. Well, three white women, maybe four white women, and one non-white so-called Asian female. And she leaves during this part, being administering Candyman. And then the white, they all die. And then the black female just comes in there right when this is going on. And like, so the black female has to experience trauma, even though she didn't even say Candyman. She
Yeah.
has to see blood, she has to like, hear, these people stabbed to death or whatever. I'm like, wow. And like we do see I think black child die, right?
Yeah, that was the, I think that was Sterling. That Sterling is the Candyman who was hiding in the walls.
Yeah.
He kills a black child in front of, well, this black male. When this black male, the one in the corduroy, was a child, he that's Sterling. He saw him kill his little sister. And that's when he came up with this idea that, oh, we should get the Candyman to kill white people instead of him killing black people.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can like brainwash like the Candyman. Like they like, it's literally like a Frankenstein story, right?
Yeah.
They turn him into whatever they want him to be.
Yeah.
Like that's what the black male is.
Like they're ritual on him, basically.
Yeah.
You're like,
it was like a ritual.
Yeah, and that's the only way. That's the only thing that gives it any like logical like thing because how else did because it makes us think that he became turned Candyman through the beast thing or something. Well, that's what I got
it was
from
his destiny, remember, because he was the baby.
Oh,
The Candyman, the original Candyman, basically saved him and was like, or oh no, Helen, the white female, saved him when the Candyman was actually trying to kill him. I don't know, it didn't make sense. Candyman was trying to kill him. Helen saved him, and then when Helen saved him, Helen is a white woman from the original Candyman. Then the original Candyman was like, I'm going to make you my like my like you like I'm going to make you the next Candyman or something like that. But his mom moves him from that area, so she never told him that he was actually the baby that was almost going to be thrown in the fire, because she thought that Helen, the white woman, had killed Candyman in the fire. I'm sorry if this is very confusing, but the movie in and of itself is very confusing. Yeah. So that was what I got from it, is that it's pretty much his destiny that this was going to happen.
Oh, wow. So it was a black male destined to,
And who brought it into his mind? His partner's brother.
Oh, yeah.
He was the first person who told him about Candyman.
Oh, yeah.
Because the mom was trying to keep him from not thinking about it.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So interesting. That's
super interesting, right?
Yeah. The person we're referring to is the anti-sexual white man who
No, the black. It was his brother, her brother.
Oh yeah, her brother. Oh yeah, her brother. Okay. Oh yeah. That reminds me that so that they didn't grow up with a victim father, right? And then the black male turns out anti-sexual. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that's 100% gonna happen all the time, but in this film, definitely that's what happens. So very interesting, and doesn't have a father, and now he is with a a white man who's not even the same height as him. So like, so he, so it's just like weird, you know. It just it's really weird to me. Like it's just wow, you know, this does nothing at all to solve the race problem.
And they're both us like the the person in the white who is the brother, he's the gay brother, and then the person that's his sister, that's the main character Anthony's girlfriend. Those two are doing very, very well in life. Like it's so on the nose, right? Yeah. Like he is a real estate agent and she is a curator for that art gallery museum, and she's moving up and up. Like there is one, like her boss dies and another white man says to her face that I'm happy that your boss was killed because now you're free. Like it freed you that he was killed, because she's such a hot commodity, or like so many white people want her because of her trauma, because they know about how her father killed himself, and they like that about her because it's a spectacle. And meanwhile, Anthony, the main character who becomes Candyman at the end, it tells you at the beginning of the movie that he hasn't made an art piece in 2 years, and she's basically supporting him because he is actually not successful. It's so interesting. Yeah. And the brother keeps telling her, you need to leave him. He's like not worth your time. He's basically like an anchor, right? Yeah, and she needs to move on. I wonder to who? I wonder to a white person like he has, because the female Brianna, she says this is one of his first normal boyfriends, the gay male whose name is Troy. Yeah. This is Troy's first normal boyfriend. Before this, he was dating European fashion designers. So this male has a history of being in tragic arrangements with white males, and he's trying to get his sister to be in one and saying, get rid of this black male throughout the whole movie. Yeah. Yeah, wow. They put it right in front of you. Yeah. But again, if you don't understand the system, you're just gonna be like, you're just gonna be brain trash. To like, this is an opinion that I've heard actual gay people say. I've actually heard them say things like, the black male it's a problem. You got to get rid of the black male. Yeah, straight black male is like the weakest link, etc. Yeah, yeah. So it's really, really, yeah. If you don't understand, this is the alliance they want. They want the white male, the black gay person, and the black female all in an alliance, and they want the white female dead because she competes for the sexual interest of the white male, and then they just want the black male gone completely. Like, it's like so interesting how they like put all of this in here for you. Yeah, it's definitely heavily coded, and I think that was a really interesting analogy. And I see it as this. Yeah, they have the gay the gay white man, the anti-sexual black male, and the black female working against the main character, the black male. Yeah, even in this shot, they all looking at each other, and what is he looking at? His phone, clueless to what's gonna happen. Yeah, he's definitely like, if you're not understanding the system of white supremacy, like, you're gonna experience a lot of mistreatment. You're not gonna know why it's happening, where it's coming from. It's always coming from people being programmed in the system of white supremacy, or no, not being programmed, being dominated in the system of white supremacy. We are very much dominated to the degree where our thoughts are really manipulated, that we hate or have a really we just designed and trained to mistreat black people. I don't want to use the word hate, but definitely not like black people at all. Just to not appreciate them, that to want to harm them, But it is domination, and it is a programming. It's literally a computer code that's like put into your brain when, like, from the time you're a toddler. Yeah. And by then you already know what's your specific assignment as a non-white person. White people have put it in your brain. Oh, I'm a black female. Yeah. I'm going to try to do this, assimilate and move up and get rid of the black male. Oh, I'm a black male. Like, it's all put in there. Unless you like get rid of that programming, you're just gonna follow it. Yeah. Because it's like a code. Yeah. Once you press run, it just keeps going. It doesn't stop. Yeah. So there's like a fail. Yeah, and we've seen, small black female children just,
like harming black males, for fun,
Yeah.
just for fun, and that's it's just the programming is really, 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 really deep. And like I hope this film is not watched by a lot of victims of racism, non-white people, especially black people, because it's just gonna like, put implant just more incorrect ideas, more incorrect feelings about and thoughts about non-white people, black males in particularly, and just everyone seemed less confused about like everyone seemed more concerned about the black male than the black female until it was too late, until
Wait, you
it's
mean everyone seemed more concerned about Anthony, the black male?
yeah, well, at least like notice that hey, this guy is like needs help or something, or this guy is like so something's off about this individual.
Really? I felt like they didn't
Yeah,
care.
like they at least noticed like his hand was messed
Oh,
up.
they
Yeah,
noticed,
yeah. I'm
yeah.
talking about like him running around with a like with his
Did you have a screenshot of this? I mean, you can tell by his
yeah,
face.
yeah, yeah. So
His
so
body's
yeah,
deteriorating.
so like where his like bicep is, basically his hand started off looking like that, and it was just like peeling. I don't know if it's peeling a mixture of blood and honey, which is also really delectable and Negro vibes.
Wow,
Yeah,
very,
yeah. So like, it's just
very.
like again, the title is Candyman.
I mean, his skin looks like a honeycomb now, right?
Yep.
That's the point.
Yeah, it's like Candyman decoded as can't like literally, tasty man, sweet man, yummy man, just a person I could eat. And definitely not like a actual man, which is can only be a white person. This is yeah, very oh yeah, and the way oh I thought I didn't see this. We're not gonna talk about it, but I thought that was a white him kneeling. Remember the part where he's like kneeling down to like God or a religion or something? Remember that shot?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But it's like if you look in the back, the angels are black people. And I mean, I thought that there's a person in the middle. I thought it was a black Jesus, but O5 says that Jesus looked white.
Yeah.
But I guess it's up for it. It's
Yeah.
up for interpretation because he's light enough that he could be either.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It's still a black male, like
But like, why do you even think that was there?
Oh, I just
Because
think
Jesus was.
yeah, I think trying to confuse black people more to like go towards keep going towards religion, because at least keep the faith, because like he was on his knees looking up to Jesus. I don't know if you're seeing that as hey, this has damaged the black collective, and it's still doing so 2021 to such a pitiful degree.
What if they're trying to say that Jesus was black and he's being sacrificed, and now Candyman is
Oh
black and
wow.
being sacrificed? Because I'm wondering why they make the Jesus black. It's so interesting.
Well, the truth will always beg to be in a universe. So maybe that was really like correct decoding of this imagery. But like the codes are so powerful that they can be like images are so powerful they can be decoded in so many ways, and like a picture is worth 1,000 words has been said.
Yeah.
So
but also because the movie doesn't have like a code behind it. Besides a code, it was just like like keep the system going. It's like leaves you confused.
Oh yeah,
a lot of the imagery and now like the way that you can analyze it in so many different ways because it doesn't have any direct purpose.
Yeah, and Joe Licata has a really interesting statement. He says, "I also have concluded that we are white identified and anti-black by the age of 6." And yeah, the people who had the most comfort in this film were people who were most white identified. If they were non-white black people, they were definitely comfy. They had reached the ultimate degree to being to getting to like having white people to accept them and like give them trinkets and comfort. Yeah, we had a anti-sexual black male with a white man, totally captured in the most intense way.
There's even a part where the white female critic literally like they're so like I think that you're right. Like they're like so white identified that she makes them. She's like doing white, like displaying white power in that scene because that's when he was talking about gentrification. And then she was basically saying like, aren't you a gentrifier because you're like an artist and stuff? And it's almost like she's trying to say like, you're becoming white or something.
Yeah,
like it was so confusing, right?
Yeah, it's a huge like confusion bomb because it'll convince black people to think that they can be gentrifiers. Black people are basically either allowed to do what they do or they're told what they're gonna do by white people. Even if it's a black person who got you signing the papers and whatnot.
And look, now they're not going to be living in that apartment.
Yeah,
because look at the end of this movie. So obviously, you can't gentrify that well if you lose it so easily.
So it's just a confusion bomb because the so-called gentrifiers are just white people who are dominating the planet, dominating the cities, the neighborhoods, the communities, so-called communities. Black people don't even have communities. But like we are placed in these could be really called race camps. That's in the word guide. You should go to producejustice.com, get the word guide, and start to codify your language so we can describe what's happening on planet Earth accurately, because we don't have neighborhoods or communities. We have concentration camps, race camps, and black people cannot be gentrifiers. So that's another way of blaming non-white people, black people, for the problems that white people have created, and they benefit from, their business of doing that. Just a lot of incorrectness in this film, confusion all around. You should not be watching films if you do not understand white supremacy. And even if we do, maybe
yeah, I don't think it's worth it because it confuses you more. And I didn't want to watch the movie, but I thought, I'll just give it a chance. But it confused me more. It made me really, I don't know. I just didn't. I don't understand why this movie needed to be made. Personally, honestly, I don't even think the original Candyman was that good.
Yeah. Well, it's not.
To have very racist themes.
Yeah, it's very racist film. It's just they're having fun practicing racism by allowing this to be made. White people can watch this and and laugh and say, "Wow, black people are really crazy and like don't help each other." Because they understand the system. They understand what they programmed. How they programmed us to behave. They understand it all.
And it's unfortunate too because these are the same Black actors that it's just you just see how they're just stuck in the system because they're consistently in these movies. Chirac, the girlfriend was in Chirac.
Yeah, Zola.
This person was in
Striking Vipers,
Watchmen. Just they're in this cycle of just being in these films that have so many themes of just really racism, anti-Blackness, honestly. And it's really unfortunate because that's how they make, that's you can just see they don't have any power. Look at the way he has to degrade himself in this movie. There's scenes where he's mutilating his body and not getting help. He goes to the doctor. Was the doctor Black? It was like a Black female, right?
I think at least the person checking him out.
It was like a Black female trying to help him. He runs out. He does not get help for. When I tell you, we don't have screenshots of it, which is good because I don't think that you should have to see it. The state that his arm was in, there is no way you could say I love you to a person and you're watching their body degrade in that state and you don't have anything to say or take them to a hospital and make sure that they stay there to get the help and support that they need. Is astonishing to me. It just watching someone degrade like that.
Love does not exist in system-wide supremacy. And that word was thrown around so much in this film. He's like, there's people who are saying they love each other, but then they're using you in rituals. They are, stabbing you to death at the end of the movie. So like, love is just this word white people have created to get Black people to focus on, just concepts that don't serve to make our lives constructive. Love. It's just not real. If you're saying you love a person, what's your definition of that? You like them a lot. What does that mean? What does that really mean? I think it's just a word that white people can use because they say they love us. White people say they love us, but we're still in concentration camps. We're still very poor globally, very just really living in squalor more times than not. So love can't exist, until we're all treated and with justice. Justice is said to be love, guaranteeing no one is mistreated and those who need help receive constructive help.
And Anthony needed the most help and was not receiving constructive help. And then to add on to your statement about love, if you watch this movie and you're more confused, the only stable relationship, quote unquote relationship, is the Black male and the white male. Because the Black male and the Black female are no longer they break up. The Black male has issues with his mom, so they don't have a good quote unquote relationship. So no one like the only people who have a stable relationship at the end is that black male and the other white male. So that just says a lot. If you watch that and you're confused, you're gonna think, well, that's what I need to be with.
Wow. Yeah, that's correct. Sour XISS says that how do we get our offspring not to be white identified? The best thing is to teach them about the system of white supremacy, racism, what it is, and how it works. That may be the um, best alternative and like preventative, if that's even possible. And also, teach them about the code of thought, speech, and behavior that one can you know amalgamize for themselves by studying Neely Fuller's code book. Have them come up with their own code, because you don't have to agree with everything in a code book, but it's definitely an amazing thing to do if one really wants to begin to not worship white people, be white identified, and think white minded, basically.
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. I mean, I can't say I know the answer. I can only assume that if you don't have offspring yet, then I would say you need to like heavily prepare so that you can properly censor them, because the brainwashing is going to happen the moment that they walk outside the door, because there's advertisement everywhere, pictures, images that are going to get to them subconsciously. So you have to be able to prepare them for that very young, in terms of not putting them into a public education, having some sort of separate education system for them, being able to teach them these things, and make sure that they understand what the code means. Have sessions with them where you pretend to be a white person, and you give them a situation. How are you going to handle that situation? How are you going to use your code? What's your code when this happens? So if they have to be around white people, they're already prepared. And also, I think you have to explain to them that white people are the other. They are not like you, right? That's why they do not look like you, and they don't look like anyone else, right? They don't have, nobody else is out here with like blue eyes, and that's because they're different. They're the ones who are different. So I would say that's all.
You have to tell them the truth, but that's a stellar VGQ. Wow. Yeah, you have to tell them the truth. Like, white people classify us as their enemy. Like, white people sat down together and said, all right, the blacks, the people we're going to classify as a black, those are the ones that's going to get the most violence, the most terrorism from us. They're going to get the most mistreatment from us. And yeah, we're not cool with the other non-whites, so-called browns and reds and yellows. I'm just using terminology white people have created, I don't like calling people colors, but this is the world we live in. So they have you gotta tell them the truth. White people classify us as their enemies, and we have to suspect every single one of them could be a white person who could have sat down at that table and did that, even though those people are long dead, But just trying to give an analogy for why to be suspicious of white people.
And you have to teach them that white people control everything. Therefore, how can you even be white identified? You don't have any control. So you don't have any power. So you have to understand that. And like you have to teach like their offspring that ultimately you don't have any power. Therefore, you cannot be white. That's what I think.
Yeah. So don't try to, pretend to be white with your thoughts, speech, and behavior, and with the just with the want to mistreat, because any person who does any work in any classrooms where they're victims of racism, who just were a victim of being like a child parent, a child pretend parent, because black people cannot be parents, they can only be attempted parents or victim parents. So if you're in a classroom with these victims, you can see that the system is very powerful, and they're like they're second grade, third grade, fourth grade, being what they're programmed to be, silly, jumping up and down, not focused on, not being serious. Basically, we're not being serious about anything we should be serious about. But we got people children singing Island Boy in the classroom, which is.
Yeah, I work my plantation is the education, and I have been speaking to a kindergartner who constantly talks about how after school he's going to get he's going to the store to get Michael Myers masks to walk around to scare people. And it's just like, this is a non-white classified as Mexican. I guess you would just call it, I don't know, indigenous looking. The whole idea of Latino is very confusing to me. But she's talking about doing that is very, very interesting to me. Like that he already is very well aware of this movie of a serial killer. This is a 5-year-old. This person, he can't write or anything like that, but he's able to watch these type of things.
Yeah. So victim parents are doing a really poor job at teaching
really, really poor.
Or offspring about the system of white supremacy. Why would she not be like glorifying death? But yeah, this is what we do in this film. Is in that area 3 entertainment. So deadly because I watched the film and I felt pain. This movie is gross. It was really grotesque.
And those are the only type of movies that they'll have Black people make. Horror movies or like the insecure type where they're just out being like just sleeping with people, drinking, just like super just not constructive. Those are the only two types of like things that you'll see, just like that new Harlem show, all of that stuff. It's just the same thing over and over. All these Black horror shows, same thing over and over.
Or like hey, let's make a film about racism, but not really racism. Like Passing, it's like it's like I haven't seen it either, but I know it's not gonna I know it's not gonna like discuss racism in a way that doesn't leave people more confused than come up with solutions. No solutions to the system can be found in this film, I suspect. So not worth one's time and energy.
I will say that the book Passing is a good book.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's good to know for folks who want to add some things to the collection of books and reading materials. Let's see, read by Jordan Peele, who is directly captured by a white woman. So maybe that's why he's like having he's writing stuff like this.
Is he a product of a tragic arrangement too?
I have no clue.
I feel like I could have sworn he has like a white parent.
Let's see.
I may be wrong then.
Let's just do. Let me do some.
And his the person he's in a tragic arrangement with, Chelsea Peretti. She has a black stepmom.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Very interesting.
Dang. Yes, this is
the black stepmom raised her.
Oh yeah, so she had I was gonna say it. She had a mammy figure. She had a mammy figure. And let's see, because they don't allow these black males to get some money, but they definitely don't mind if they're attached to a white woman, if they've been captured by a white woman, because hey, the money's gonna go right back to the white business,
See? That's his mom.
Oh wow, you're right. Yeah, he does have a white mom. So
because look how dark his dad is.
Oh yeah,
his victim dad. So
the money stays in the white side of the business, even though it's all theirs.
Where's the dad?
I guess he's right here.
No, but now isn't that interesting?
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's very interesting. All the pictures of him are from a long time ago.
I guess he died in 2000.
That's still not that long ago. I thought there shouldn't be that many pictures of him.
Yeah, I guess the white women probably I saw speculating probably kept him away from them. Who knows? Who knows what happened and that tragic arrangement? I'm sure it was a great tragedy, because it happened in the first place. So that's already a tragedy, having a white racist mother. And then you make films where a black person is chopping a black person's hand off and sticking a hook in it. It just seems to all correlate to the system of white supremacy making us quite insane, and we produce quite insane depictions of that reality.
Yeah, incredibly nonsensical. I mean, this person has spent a majority of his life waiting for this moment, and his plan is to have someone kill police officers or race soldiers after they kill the black male. What is the point of that? Why not prevent the killing of the black male in the first place? It really doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Thanks audience for tuning in and the folks who may listen to the broadcast afterwards. I hope this was a constructive value. I hope it motivates you not to watch the film, but to begin to think, speak and act against racism, white supremacy. Simply thinking and speaking, the truth about it could do so much to motivate other folks and just maybe create that spark in the victim's mind slash psyche to want to help us solve the problem, help themselves solve the problem.
Also, I think instead of watching it, you could also look up the people that O5 was talking about who are depicted in these scenes. It's probably a better use of your time to really understand their real life stories and not cartoon versions of their stories.
Yeah, because it's just a really shallow, incorrect way to.
That's a great word to explain it. Very shallow.
Yeah, incorrect to display white people's history of murdering us as a spectacle, as their entertainment. White people's entertainment also include killing Black people for fun.
Isn't that sick? Now they're making it a spectacle for Black people to watch and go to movies theaters to watch. It's so disturbing.
Yeah, so instead of is
it the real thing or is that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is him when he's crying.
Reenactment.
I think it's a real
thing. In color.
Well, they probably had maybe this is a different Black boy they killed.
I think it's him.
I think it's this is probably him. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this on the screen.
The man not.
Yeah, the man not. The man not. Let's see, where is it? So yeah, look at the screen right now. Look how they're just a cartoon version of. Oops, wrong one. A cartoon version of this. Oh man.
And this is the actual reality.
Yeah, and we don't know if this is a actual.
I think it's a reenactment.
Well, still, the imagery is really accurate. So, motivation to solve the problem. There are still many jurisdictions going around. Every Black death is, white supremacy, racism, racist man and racist woman, and racist child killing another one of us. Because that's their business, and we should want to stop the death of all people who don't deserve to die.
They love to do this. They love to vacate it. Like, what is this? 60 years, 70 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you knew it was wrong when you did it.
Yeah, and then they'll say sorry 10 years later, and we have been just trained to accept apologies and not want compensation in the form of justice. Guaranteeing a permanent end to this sort of mistreatment in general. But yeah, we're gonna need a ton of non-white people, especially Black people, who are wanting to develop a code that produces justice for us and for the whole entire planet. So I think we can sign out.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for listening. I appreciate it.
Yeah, please, this account, CRWS, is very, very censored, nigger banned, shadow banned. So yeah, it's not really put out there by the algorithms. So yeah, maybe help by sharing it on your various platforms, on your social medias if you're participating in that. But thanks for your audience. CRWS signing out.